55 is going to be a year that there's going to be a lot of what ifs mentally. What if it doesn't work? What if I fail? What if I'm rejected? What if I can't do this? What if? It's going to be a lot of what ifs. And it's going to be a lot of what ifs because 55, 5 and 5 is 10. 10 for me is the number of what ifs. It comes from this fear of failing and this fear of rejection. What it also tells me is that you are somebody that has a very big desire, and this big desire is something that you focus on a lot, but at the moment the focus on this desire that you have is in lower frequency. It is on the what if it doesn't work, what if I fail, what if I get rejected. It's all about how other people will perceive you because of how you're putting yourself forward. The trick to it is the fives. You've got two fives that are creating this 10. So the two fives are kind of like, okay, this is what you do with this. And it is to focus on gratitude, to focus on the abundance of. When you're in lack with the what if I fail, what if I'm rejected, you're not likely to move from that place. It attracts lack. It cannot move from there until you shift your energy. When you shift your energy into a higher frequency out of the low frequencies of lack, then you're in a place of gratitude. Starts with gratitude, moves to abundance, depending on how well you're doing it. But minimum is gratitude. So when you're in your, but what if it failed? What if I fell? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm rejected? It leads to nowhere, like I said. But from that place, you're able to shift. When you recognize that you're in this place of what if this doesn't work? What if that doesn't work? You could make it a positive. What if it's amazing? What if I'm the best that I can be in it? What if I love it? What if it's everything I dreamed about? What if it brings me so much joy? What if I feel so happy doing it? There's lots of what ifs in positive. But if you're always focused on the what ifs in negative, then you're holding yourself in that lower frequency. So the trick with 55 is to bring yourself into that place of gratitude. Focus on bringing yourself into the gratitude. It helps to feel good. From that feeling of feeling good, you're exposing yourself to the feeling of abundance. Trying for me is another word from lower frequency. Doesn't have to be, but the way generally people use it and the energy that comes off people when they use it is from lower frequency. And what I mean is that when you say, I'm trying to do this right now, it's got some energy attached to it that is like, I am trying to do this, but I don't do a very good job of it. And I'm not really sure that I'm doing it right. And I don't necessarily feel the shift of it. And I don't know if I'm doing it right. And I'm not sure that it's working. And I keep going back to that what ifs in negatives again. And I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. And it has so much doubt attached to it. So when you find yourself back in that what ifs in negatives, instead of telling yourself off about being back there, the better option for you would be, thank you for bringing me back here, because it's all about feeling gratitude towards what you're experiencing. There is no wrong or right in what you experience. So if you're back in that place, yes, it doesn't feel good in that place, but it's a reminder for you, I don't feel good in that place. So from that place, that's then your opportunity to shift back up here. If you tell yourself off, you're going to hold yourself here. It's like, yeah, I'm putting all this effort in and it's just not getting me anywhere, and I keep doing it and I keep doing it, but I'm still not getting anywhere. It will take a while because you've been here for a while. Your habit is to go to this place. You've worked 55 years, or at least from a few years old, in your what ifs. So for a long time, you've worked in the what ifs in negative. It doesn't just happen from you saying it 5 or 10 times a day of shifting yourself, that it's just going to happen that you remain in that place. So it's you reteaching yourself how to be in that higher frequency rather than the lower frequency. you will go back to that place. But like I said, don't tell yourself off about it. Simply say, okay, I'm back in this place. I'm back in this what ifs and negatives. So thank you for being here, because you're making me aware of which energy I'm working from. You're making me aware that I am in a lower frequency energy, and I'm really appreciative of knowing that I'm in a lower frequency energy, so that I know what I'm doing to create the shift to go back into the higher frequency. And then you start with your what ifs, all in gratitude, all in what could be, all in the ideas of what you have. Or you go to gratitude, simple gratitude for whatever it is you have in your world, because either way you will feel good. You will feel joy about what you experience in your world. Rather than getting lost in this place, you're bringing yourself back to this place. And the more you get pulled into this place, just keep bringing yourself back to this place and just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. The 5 is a message of balance. So when you master this, there is a peace that you'll experience, not the what ifs and negatives. And the what ifs and negatives are coming from a place of abandonment. Between 0 to 7, there would have been something that happened in your world that there was this feeling of abandonment. Maybe someone left, someone passed, whatever it is, however you experienced it, it doesn't really matter how you experienced it. The emotion in us is the same. When we feel abandoned, we feel abandoned. And the fear of failure and rejection is this feeling that if you don't do something right, you will be left. Somebody or something will leave you. And that fear holds you into redoing the same things that you've always done. But it will change the more you put the energy into it. And it's not saying you're not putting energy into it now, because I'm sure you are. But as long as you keep going back to this place and then you tell yourself off in this place, you get held in this place for longer. Once you realize that you're in this place, and change is the beginning of change is awareness. So once you're aware that you're in this place, bring yourself back to that gratitude place and just keep doing that, because the more you do that, the more this place will be your default, and this place becomes a distant memory. You won't hold on to this anymore, but you will hold on to it as long as you're in it and you're telling yourself off about being in it. So don't tell yourself off about being in it, all right? But this is a big year for both of you. 55 is a big year because it means that you're dealing with the number 10. You're dealing with this abandonment issue and this idea that you can fail. And the idea of failing, for me, is not actually doing anything. Because if you don't do anything, that is failure. There is no growth. There is no lessons that you're learning in doing nothing. As long as you put yourself out there, and as long as you're walking towards this desire, you're going to grow, you're going to learn, you're going to have understanding, you're going to experience things you haven't experienced before, which means that you learn and you grow and you get more wisdom and you get more understanding. So there isn't actually any failure in your attempts of moving forward. The failure comes in you not attempting to move forward, you wanting to remain as you are and not putting any energy into letting go of who you are or letting go of the idea of who you are. Because we can all walk with ego, the number ones. We can all walk forward and say, I am this and I am that. No, I don't do that. No, I don't eat this. No, I don't like that. Yes, I like that. I da 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 da. And you have very clear in your mind of who you are and what you're about. But that doesn't mean that that's always going to be who you are and what you're about, because we're constantly changing. And the idea of the ones is that when you're at the one, you make that conscious effort to walk towards the changes. They're not comfortable. They'll never be comfortable, because it is asking you to let go of who you've been and move into being somebody new. But we're always becoming. So it's simply reminding yourself that you are becoming, you are moving into a new place, you are becoming someone different, you are acting in a different way, thinking in a different way, doing things in a different way, feeling different. However it presents itself to you, but it is about you creating change within your world. And like I said, they're the challenges, moving beyond your own ideas of self. And the lessons are using gratitude as that way to get around that, because that is where you will find your balance. That is where you will find your calm, your tranquility, your peace, your peace.